for joining me today. It is day 18 of Vlogmas, and this video is probably coming up a bit late because it's already 10 o'clock on the 18th day, and I'm only just getting around to filming. So, you might see I'm wearing something new. I've half finished my Christmas pyjamas. I just did this now. This is the Stanway, I think that's the right name, Stanway tee from the Cashmere Ahead of the Curve book. I've made this before just as like a base layer, but I decided to use this for some wintry pyjamas. The fabric is Jenny Stitch's fabric, Christmas pug dog, or French bulldog, don't know, jersey, and you'll have seen this in the children's t-shirt I showed you yesterday. So that was made with some of the leftovers from this set I've cut out. So I've also got the Hudson, True Bice Hudson pants, which I've not made before. I have those cut out for the trousers as well, which I'm hoping to set up in the next couple of days. The ribbing is from Minerva.com, and I'm using that on the ankle cuffs. Am I using it anywhere else? I think maybe as an accent on the pockets I was going to use it. Although I'm not sure where those pieces are. I'll find them, I'm sure. So yeah, and then I've also got red cord for the tie. So that's my main project that I would like to finish before Christmas. So I've been sort of then thinking ahead to some of the things that I might want to make after Christmas and going into the new year. Now I think a lot of the summer is going to be dedicated to sorting stuff out for our wedding. I'm very hot and cold on how much or how little to do. I sort of have a tendency to overcommit things, and I get them done, but it ends up being really, really stressful. And so I'm thinking like, ooh, maybe sewing, 150 wedding favours is a bad idea. Don't know. But I've got some possible bits and bobs, so I just need to, I think I need to make a list of everything that needs to happen between now and the wedding, and then just work out, am I going to have time to do X, Y, and Z? But I'm not worrying about any of that now. So what I'm thinking about is I don't want to buy too much in terms of fabric in January. Excuse me. So I'm trying to look at the stuff that I've got, and I thought I would just maybe go through what some of my plans are. So mostly I'm focusing on like cozy things, and then maybe some nice things to wear for work. I think it's important. I know I've always find January and February can be a bit bleak. It picks up in March. I always associate, like, my birthday's in March, but also we have this tree in our garden, a magnolia tree. Do I mean magnolia? Yeah, I do mean magnolia tree. And it blooms in March, and it's always like everything is just sort of dead and wintry, and then suddenly all of these pink flowers come up, and it always really, really cheers me up because I just feel like, oh, winter's over. So I just feel like January and February, I just want to sew some things that are like nice to wear and not too complicated. Yeah, so I thought I'd just maybe talk you through some of those quickly. So first, a few of these things you'll have heard of what I'm doing before. So the first thing I'm going to be working on after Christmas is my Jenny Stitch's blogger project. So the way that works, you have a look on the website, have a look for a pattern and fabrics and notions and things, and then we ask Jenny for those and the amount we need. She sends it all over in return for a blog post, and then also she gives us vouchers once the vlog post is written. And the latest project for me is going to be a sweatshirt out of these different, there's one here as well, boucle colours, with some white ribbing, and I'm sort of using, I think it's I always get confused, the Stanway tee, the Stanton hoodie, both cashmere patterns. And the reason I picked that hoodie is because the way it's designed, it's sort of already got lots of different cool shapes. So I thought there's already like a sort of easy colour blocking element there, and then I'm going to chop those up further to make something really different. So it's going to be quite heavily hacked. And I'm also going to size up because I want it to be quite an oversized fit, and also because, I mean, boucle does have some stretch. You put it the right way, see, this way it's got a bit of stretch, this way it's got a bit of stretch, but it's not like a stretchy fabric, so I want it to be sort of oversized just so I'm not having any issues with sort of getting it on and off and worrying about it shrinking and things like that. So that's those. Another couple of things you'll have seen already. this, which is my By Graziella fabric. I've talked about before, so I've got black ribbing and black cord to go with this. There'll be another pair of True Bias Hudson pants, and then I think a Billy sweatshirt is the plan. So it will just be like a sort of loungewear set, but I think that's going to be quite cute. So that'll be another thing, another sort of cheer you up thing to wear in the new year. And then, where do I go next? We'll stick with cozies and then I'll move on to some smarter things. So when I started sewing, I bought this sweatshirting. I don't really know why. It's very fluffy on the back. It's like literally like fake fur on the back. And it's got this sort of, I suppose, what are they like? I know they're triangles, but they look a bit like mountains to me. Like, I don't know. But it's really snuggly. So the thing I've been weighing up with this is, do I make, again, sort of like a Billy dress, but really oversized? Or, because I'm not so sure if this fabric is something that I'd wear outside. It's not really a colour I would wear. This like blue colour isn't really a colour I'd wear much. So, but I just think it'd be really nice to have like a snuggly dress. There's also the Cashmere at Stanton hoodie, actually, in the expansion pack. They have like a hoodie dress. I think it's a bit more, so like the shape is a little less relaxed than the Billy sweater dress. But I quite like the hoodie element, although I'm not sure about having this texture directly on my hair. I think I'd be asking for trouble. But yeah, so I'm going to make some sort of like cozy, snuggly thing to wear inside. So that's my plan for that. I've been trying to look at things that I've had for a while and haven't used. So that's what some of these are. Okay, now one more sort of stretchy fabric. This is, I think it's a Ponte. And I bought this from Rainbow Fabrics absolutely ages ago. It's in this nice colour, sort of like cinnamon colour. And I haven't really known what to do with it, but I think I might make another pair of, what was it? Erin dungarees, which are another Tilly and the Buttons pattern. So I made a pair for the Jenny Stitches blog in corduroy, but it's one of the patterns where you can make it in knit or woven fabrics. And I sort of thought, again, for wearing around the house, just having some like really relaxed dungarees would be kind of nice. So yeah, so those are my plans in terms of like more relaxed, snuggly sewing. And then thinking a bit more about like work and stuff like that, I've obviously got this fabric, which I said I was going to try and sew up for Christmas, but realistically there's not going to be time. And I think it's one of those things where it's like a dress with stars on can be Christmassy, but also it's not like overtly Christmassy. So I'm still thinking, people have suggested different things. There is a possibility of a shirt dress. I just have to work out, because I've got a few Lyras now. And I've made 2 in drapey fabrics and 2 in like more stiff cotton fabrics. And I actually kind of preferred the cotton ones, which I didn't think. When I did the photo shoot for it, I preferred the swishy one. But in the summer, I wear the cotton ones all the time. I find them really good for work. I find them really like cool. Yeah, so I'm thinking like, do I need another viscose drapey Lyra? So a Lyra is an option. Lotta is another one, or the NYX. Is it the NYX dress? Is that a new closet core pattern, maybe? I'm also going to have a look at Fibre Mood. I sort of don't want anything too complicated, just because, as I've said before, the print and the detail in this is so lovely that it's almost like a shame to overcomplicate it. So I just want something simple. The Lotta dress, I think, as I've mentioned before, is one, again, you can do that in stretch or woven fabric. I have only ever done it in woven, so I've done 2 versions, both in viscose. And again, I find it very wearable for work, and it's very flattering. It's got this elasticated waist. It's got like quite a high sort of boat style neck, I suppose. I'd probably play around with the sleeves. That's the one thing where I'm never quite happy with the sleeves. So I'd maybe go for longer. You could go for a bit fuller, but I think because there's sort of a slight fullness in the blouse area, you just got to be a bit careful about then having, if you have like fullness and fullness and fullness, it can just end up being a bit much, but I'm open to that. I then have another fabric that's really similar. Now, I bought this at the Stitch Festival last year from, what are they called? He'll come back to me. I can't remember what the brand's called. But they have lots of dead stock, like really high-end designer things, as well as some other normal bits and bobs you find. But I just sort of love this. Now, this on a similar vein in that it's sort of a celestial print. So you've got sort of all the different zodiac signs. It's Pisces, that's my sign. But this time you have this sort of metallic, do you see it's sort of like sewn in like a lurex thread thing. So it's just, and it's more colourful than the other one. So I have 2 pieces of this. So I bought, I think, 2 meters or 2.5 meters or something. And then they gave me what was left on the roll, which is about 0.5 meter, I think. And I've wanted to make, I was thinking of making the Cali shirt. But I don't know. It's one of those things where I love this fabric, and I really want to make sure I make it into something that I wear. And I'd sort of been thinking like it might be cool for like a sort of blouse, like a long line blouse to wear to work over, like, because sometimes I wear black jeans, like smart fitted jeans. And I thought like that might be quite nice, like as a blouse over the top. But I'm an R with shirt patterns. Like I don't want it to be fitted. So Cashmere have some fitted shirts, and I'm just like, I don't want it to be fitted. I want it to sort of be like drapey and floaty. I'm just not sure if the Calais silhouette is the right one. If you know any nice sort of blouse patterns that are size inclusive, let me know. Obviously, a priority is having something that fits well over the bust, because that's normally the area in shirts that is an issue. I think I'd have to toile, but I do want to try and use this year because I just love it. I think the print is really gorgeous. It's a viscose again. And then the last one is another one that I got from Rainbow Fabrics ages ago, and it's another viscose. And it's this zebra print. Now, I always think pink and red around Valentine's Day is kind of nice. So again, I think they did, it might have been like a Lyra. I think Fabric Godmother did like a Lyra pattern with, it wasn't this exact fabric, but it was like a similar idea. So it was like similar colorway, and it was like a zebra print, but I think it was like slightly smaller scale. And that worked really nicely. So that might be a good one. Like a nice Lyra in this, don't know. Again, I think simple is the best thing if you're going with like quite bold colours and bold prints. It's quite nice to keep it simple. But the other thing that might be nice actually would be like a wilder. If you were careful with like the pattern placement, because you see it's got this sort of, these V patterns going throughout. Do you see? I think you could do like a fun thing with the placement, or maybe that would just be too much volume with like quite a loud print. Don't know. But those are I've got that as my working on pile. So my plan after Christmas is just to start trying to work through these. I've been sent an email about picking my latest Minerva fabric, and I'm not 100% sure what I want to do at the minute. So I think I might wait and see what happens at Christmas, if I get any patterns I like. I don't know if I'll get any patterns. I haven't asked for any, but or if, yeah, I don't know, just if there's something that takes my fancy particularly. But these are at the top of my working on pile. Some of them, I would say, the ones from Rainbow Fabrics and the sweatshirting, the blue sweatshirting, are ones that I've had for a long time. So I really just want to get those done. And I'm going to try and just be more mindful this year of shopping my stash a bit more, because my stash is really quite big now. And I want to start to get it down. So I'm just going to try and yeah, just work on just trying to get a few fabrics out of my stash box, and yeah, that's the plan. So I've whittled on today. I haven't actually done loads of sewing apart from this top, because my big group of friends from uni, we had a big Christmas lunch today, and the trains were an absolute nightmare. It's not a strike day, but I think part of the strikes is like people, and I'm very pro strikes, by the way. I think you do what you got to do. But part of the strikes is that they're not doing overtime, and as such, they've shut down half the lines around here. So it is like a real faff. I had to drive half an hour to get to somewhere that had a train. Yeah, just a faff. And this week it looks really bad. So I'm going to see my friend in a show tomorrow, but I think I might have to leave at the interval because there are no trains after 9 o'clock to get back. And that's not just trains to get directly to ours, because I can't actually get a train back to where we live. It's just to get a train to close enough that I can find my way home from there. So yeah, So it ended up taking up a lot of the day. And this morning I literally just got up and I practiced. I've practiced this concert on Tuesday. I sort of sang through everything. Yeah, it's one of those. There are some little ensembles that are like quite complex. And the thing is, they're probably not that complex, but it's like until you're actually in with all the other parts, sometimes it can, like, you don't really fully get it until you're singing with the other parts. So I always get a bit anxious or like over prepare, in the hope that it'll be okay. So yes, that's why I haven't done much sewing. Again, the embroidery, I promise you I haven't forgotten about it. We're going up north for Christmas and I will have nothing else to do, so I will embroider when I'm up there. It just means it'll be a bit behind, but I'll do a follow-up vlog after Christmas and you can see the finished thing. But I'm hoping in the next couple of days I might have a bit of time, but today and tomorrow are really, not today and tomorrow and the day after are really, really busy. So yeah, we will see. But yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you are having a nice time in this run up to Christmas, that you've had a lovely weekend, and thank you again for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next time. All right, bye.